I'm Adam Schniper. I'm a grandchild of Holocaust survivors, and this is Jack Schniper, my father, who was a survivor.
Yes, and I am a Holocaust survivor by date of birth. It was really my parents that I'm honoring when I say that, because they were the true Holocaust survivors who carried me along for the ride. But my father lost his wife and children during the Nazi invasion into Pelham, but my mother's story was a little bit different. She was in hiding on a farm that a farmer she knew. They had dug holes in the ground to hide during the day and then go out at night. And she was on the hole by herself, and then her mother and her sister were in a different hole. They would see each other at night. But then the mother and sister never came back, so we don't know what happened to them. And both my parents, my mother and father, just took different routes of existence, or trying to, get with certain groups, whether it's partisan groups or whatever, and try to hide from being captured. But they were both captured, but not knowingly as Jews, because they lost their paperwork, which was a blessing. And that way they were put into a labor camp and met there in the labor camp.
Citizens would also get inducted into forced labor.
Yeah, whoever didn't curry their favor, or and other groups that were targeted, whether it was priests, Catholic priests, gypsies, just people that they didn't, the regime didn't like or agree with. But having lost their paperwork, it ended up saving my mother and father from not being identified as Jews in that labor camp. One of the women my mother worked with, they were working in the fields with guards. The guards kept taunting various prisoners to see if they were Jewish or hiding as Jews. This woman reacted and shot her on the spot. So that mother just kept on working. She, didn't let it, overtly didn't let it faze her. Otherwise, she'd be gone too.
But then the one you said that the guard told her, "I knew you're not Jewish because you're too good a farmer."
Or you could farm, yeah, and Jews don't know how to farm. So fortunately, it was a labor camp where they weren't tattooed coming in, but they were treated in a similar fashion, having to get off of trains there and then just disrobe. And men and women and children. So no telling what happened to the kids. They didn't talk about what their experience was in that camp. They were fortunate enough to get through it, live through it. And it was with other people involved. So there was something as a group effort that this group were able to get out, because they didn't have to take me on that ride after they left the prison camp. They went through woods and I don't recall the time frame, but they would hide by night, they would hide by day and travel by night. And my mother said that the whole time they were worried I would cry as a baby. I never cried. So that was a miracle. It was because of, our parents hiding, getting out of camp and hiding and hooking up with the American forces, fortunately. They took them under their wing and sent them into Stuttgart, Germany, of all places, to be sent back to or to go to. But it was after the war, and so they were treated as DPs until they applied for and got permission to come and immigrate to this country. And so once they approved it, the rest is fate. Glad to hear. Glad to be in this country. I can't dwell on it because I really am a live and let live person. So I think that's what we should do. Not as a Jew, but just overall. But especially maybe as a Jew, because it was what our history, our modern history shows, is we're better off with live and let live and try to lead a constructive life.